Welcome back to hell, everybody. It's the High Mage, and we're a Barb this season. I'm going to quickly go over my build, and I'm going to run through a Malignant Tunnel with it. And then later on, I'll run through some 20 plus, tier 4 dungeons. I'm 68. I don't have everything online. I got one glyph so far, two glyphs. But anyways, we got 3 points of bash, which we could, relocate that. Even, let's say, the bash is going to be better here, but you could respec as necessary. Like, we don't have to have this because we can pick this up from. Anyways, bash, combat bash to get guarantee overpower with critical hits, which we stun a lot and we get an additional 9% critical hit. That's somewhere else. We'll get to it. We got 8 ranks of Hammer of the Ancients. I think that's a roll for gloves. We got the 1% times damage for each additional point of fury. That's important, and we'll revisit that. Core skills have 30% chance to make enemies vulnerable. It's still a very important damage bucket, so you want to be picking it up as much as possible. We got basic skills generate 15% times more fury when using two-handed. This is a two-handed build. We got rallying cry, just 1 rank. Over here to the tactical rallying cry for instant 20 fury and additional resource generation, 20% times. So it's a multiplier to your resource generation. We're picking up war cry on the pants, I believe. 3 ranks. We have Warcry grants Berserking for 4 seconds, and if 6 enemies are nearby when you cast Warcry, additional 10% times damage on top of the 19.5, so that becomes 29.5% times damage for no other reason than casting the shout. We're running Charge for the guarantee vulnerable over here. Knocked back into terrain and stun, like not super important. We got only 3% reduction while berserking, mainly to pick up the increased fury generation. 3 ranks of it. No mercy, increased critical strike chance to immobilize, stunned, or slowed. We stun almost, like at minimum every 3 hits we're stunning something. We only pick this one up to get to this one. That damage bonus could be useful. It would go up to 9% with 3 ranks. This is a work in progress, so we'll take 1 from there. And we'll add it there because it's close enemies. 6%. More damage buckets, more better. Down here we got thick skin, only to pick up the fortified damage bonus of 12% times. 8 blows of Deathblow, that's key to our build somewhat, because we want to be berserking as much as possible. It does 150% times to bosses, and then we can pick up on one of our aspects. I believe I have a 96% times roll right now, so it's picking up quite a bit of damage, especially when you do optimal damage situation, which I'll explain in a bit. Heavy-handed, just another multiplier to our critical strike damage when using two-handed weapons. 45% times increased damage when using two-handed weapons, or Overpower is times 45%. Bludgeoning weapons deal 5% times increased damage if the enemy is stunned or vulnerable, which they're almost always going to be stunned. The vulnerable is probably like 30% of the time. Skills using bludgeoning weapons have up to 30% chance to stun enemies for 3.58 seconds, or 45% chance using a two-handed bludgeon, which we're using. Finally, we picked up Unbridled Rage. Core skills deal times 135% increased damage, but cost 100% more. That synergizes with one of our Malignant Hearts, but first over here to the Paragon Tree. This is what I was talking about just minutes ago. Like and subscribe if you made it this far. We're only got 2 glyphs going right now, but we're not min-maxing. We're just putting as much online as we go. So the more we get, the stronger we become, not just bouncing around. Like, we're turning everything on as we go. Physical damage, maximum life. This is additional vulnerable damage for Dex, which we have, I still think, like 2 or 3 more. I think only 2 more to pick up right here. This could be put in a more optimal spot. I might switch it out for, I think I leveled it somewhere. Yeah, right here. This will affect yellows, blues, and white nodes. Well, I guess white nodes don't actually have any adders, but this will get increased. All this will get increased because it's non-physical. I don't know about the armor, but I don't know. There's probably a more optimal place to put that. Like I said, I'm experimenting as I go. Over here we got Crusher for 30% times increased overpower damage. Overpower is weirder than vulnerable or critical strike, as the damage is based off your current fortify, current health, and then, you know, whatever damage you have into the stat. We're currently sitting at 27% damage with maces. To get the most out of our Hammer of the Ancients, we've picked up damn near all the Fury so far. I'm trying to get to these fortify stats, but somewhere in the middle after I get this gold one, I'll probably come over here and pick up the Fury, the other Fury on kill, and the maximum Fury right here. We only have 1 max life left in this bunch of Fury. We have some items. Let's get to our items now. We got Deathblow on the helmet. Total armor, that's a good roll. Basic skill attack speed, that's a good roll. That's a preferable stat. The life on kill is kind of dog shit. If it was max, you know, that would mean something, because we'll kill like 5 or 10 enemies at a time. That could be anywhere between 500 and 1,000 life. That's half our health. These are pretty much all good. Fortified generation, damage reduction while fortified. We want that. It's a super low roll. Like, I've had this chest piece since level 51. I'm almost 70 now. Looking for a replacement for that and the gloves, because we could be having 4 Hammer of the Ancients sitting at an extra rank higher, you know. Probably bumps us from 85% to like 90, 95, maybe even 100. Not sure. Haven't got it up that high yet. Also, we got lucky hit chance. I don't know. There's like definitely something better I could have on the lucky hit chance. Gloves get attack speed up to 15%, so you would preferably have attack speed, the Hammer of the Ancients. The willpower is good because that also increases your resource generation by, we got 9.5% from our 316, which obviously goes higher the closer we creep to 100. On our pants, the War Cry is good because that's a flat damage multiplier. The Impair duration reduction, it's a mid-roll. If it was the full 17, you know, it'd be okay. The potion capacity, it's useful to me now because I'm having to try a little bit excessively hard occasionally in the dungeons that are more like 10 or 12, 14, 15 levels above me. A little hard right now because I don't have much glyphs online. We got Dex, Berserking duration, Willpower, slow duration, reduction. The, I don't know. We could definitely get rid of the slow duration reduction because we have charges in Unstoppable and is it War Cry, I believe. No, it's the Rallying Cry, grants you Unstoppable. On our Bludgeon, we got Strength, damage to stun, because we're stunning a lot. Berserking damage, crowd control damage, since stun is a crowd control effect. Basic skill damage, strength, damage while berserking, critical strike damage. Basic skill damage, damage to slowed enemies, vulnerable damage, and strength. crowd control, berserk damage, strength, DOT. I almost would need to turn on the bleeding for that to be useful. This might as well be a 3-stat legendary that's 750 because we're not doing DOT. Like I said, not everything is optimized. Just picked up this ring. I did have the full 50% times, but I figured it was worth it to pick up some more fury. We got raw physical damage. I had bleed damage on here. Damage while berserking, some more. Can't get enough of that. Injured, damage to injured enemies. It's a low roll. More fury, more critical strike chance, more crowd control damage. Percentage of strength is basically translates to, armor and attack power. Weapon mastery skill goes with our DEATHBLOW. The elite damage is, it's okay. To cover aspects, we got the retribution aspect, which is more or less is 29% times damage to stun enemies. That's the important part of that. Critical strikes with core. We're running a double-edged sword, Vicious Heart here. 72% extra critical strike damage, but we get the 35% times less damage to non-critical strikes. It hurts our damage a lot, but it buffs our damage a lot too. Yeah, that's retribution. Accelerating ring, critical strikes with core skills. Increase attack speed by 21% for 5 seconds. Our Vicious Heart, after spending 61 fury within 2 seconds, your next non-basic skills critical strike chance is increased by 33% times. If you look over here, you'll see our only core skill that cost any fury. Oh, that's weird. It should not be costing 0. This costs 70. I don't know why it's reading as 0 right now. That's weird. There you go. Hammer of the Ancients costs 70. So every time we cast it, we refresh that heart. Like the first one, I don't think that counts if it doesn't hit anything. The Overpower, I just explained. I had the higher roll of that. We picked up where... Oh, that's why it was at 0. Because we're running this. We're running 3 Devious. Every 5 seconds while above 60% life, core skills cost 310 life instead of primary resource. This effectively gives us 2 charges of Hammer of the Ancients with 174% times damage on top of that key passive that's adding 135% times. So we're basically at 305% times damage with Hammer of the Ancients. Just flat out times damage. No critical or overpower included in that. Hammer of the Ancients quakes outwards, dealing 92% of its damage. So basically a full power strike. It attacks twice just in general. After spending 100 fury or 2 slams of the hammer, weapon mastery skill deals 96% times damage. Intercom, 8.5% times damage for each second you stand still. It takes roughly 4 seconds to come up to full power. More basic skill attack speed because we want to be swinging this big ass hammer as fast as possible. The additional weapon mastery charge with the lucky hit to stun. Doesn't matter because we stun so much. Fury, every point of extra fury over the top is 10 points of fortify, which our fortify generation probably makes it like 15 or 20, and then when we start popping everything, it goes up so high. The more resource generation we have, the more quickly the fortify fills up. Basic skills increase the next core skill cast by 5%, so 6 core attacks and you're at another 30% times damage. Increase crowd control duration. I feel like enemies don't get to be unstoppable, and not especially probably in this tunnel. And then the barrier on the helmet, it's fairly useful. So we'll just go through here, break some shit, pre-build some fury on our way in. I guess I'll pick up some potions too. I'm really trying to get some of them good world tier 4 malignant hearts. Yeah, a flat out overpower gets nerfed from that perk. The heart that makes non-criticals do less damage. That was low damage because it costed health, and the fury is very low. Like, I don't even think I'm seeing damage numbers sometimes because they just pop when the fury is so high. Especially if I have the perk. This is the auto overpower from that. There's also the glyph I'm running gives me the other 30% times damage to overpower. These are only crits right now. Like, I'm not hitting that much overpower. See, okay, I'm building it up. Okay, I have the bash. Now I'm just going to have to bash everything until I find something big and see how much damage it does. I don't want to do my leap either because the leap is just going to cost me everything. Oh, man, they made me do it. That was a weak one. When your health is below 50%, you're not picking up that Fortify perk, the 12% times damage. It's not a whole lot, you would think, but I don't know how often the overpower is coming into play because sometimes I'll be hitting 110k, sometimes I'll be hitting like 400, 500k. There was just a basic crit right there, hit 135k or whatever it was. That was, oh, there you went, 700k, and I'm level 68. I don't, that's probably not impressive for Barb, but on my Sork, I had to get to 98 to start hitting like 600k before they nerfed the Devouring Blaze. It doesn't pertain to this, so don't get too caught up in it, but to see my character hitting 600k before 70 it feels good. And then they say that Barb is nerfed. I don't see many people running a bash build, so, you know, here's a template. Again, you know, you made it this far in the video. Drop a like and subscribe, and I'll keep putting out more off-meta shit that I can find. Obviously, Hammer of the Ancients, it's probably... Everyone says it's bad, but I don't think it is. Like, I don't know how it was working before the nerf, but it seems to work just fine for me. Like, the little shockwave from Hammer of the Ancients triggers most of our skill point effects. Oh man, I killed him too quick. Malignant ghouls. Oh yeah, this is a tunnel. I guess I could give a attempt to doing the Varshan or whatever it is, the malignant tunnel boss if there's a spawn. I tried it once already, right around 61 or 2, and I don't care to learn mechanics. I just want to go in and smash. I did a video where I did Elias and I killed him in like 70 seconds under level 60 with this build. I had to learn his mechanics a little bit, but mostly I had to learn how much damage I need to do to make him skip the more annoying ones. Maybe I'll link that video in this video so you can just take a peep at that and see. Well, I will say it takes some effort with this build. It definitely does. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's just doing the vulnerable. I'm not even seeing damage. They're just vulnerable and they explode, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Oh, Channeling Shrine. If you're running this build, this is your favorite one, because look, now we're at the top of our Fury right now. How much do we got? Like 3/4 left. Just gonna smash, pop those. Oh, he died. He died way quicker than I thought. Oh wow, this was a Wrathful. Look at that, guys. We got a Wrathful heart. Let's see what it gives me. Gotta keep popping. You'll do a pretty significant amount of damage just slamming it with the channeling shrine. That's when this build becomes the most low effort that it can be. Or you get a protection shrine. That's also super useful. Mainly in a nightmare dungeon like in here. I'm not gonna say the malignant anything is giving me too much trouble. Well, let's see what heart this is. Critical strikes and all subsequent damage within 3.5 seconds is absorbed by a target. Then absorbed damage erupts onto surrounding enemies. Stored damage is increased by 14% times per second. Well, let's just go slot this in right here because I'm getting annoying of my damage just dropping off randomly. The bash actually will hit for like 50k when I'm not running that sometimes. I'm doing no damage. Oh, it's this perk working, I guess. I guess some of the enemies just get overwhelmed and die. Huh. Good malignant heart. Add that to the build, I guess. So, you know, it's a barb. It's pretty simple. Pop your cooldowns. Do what you're going to do. Keep in mind, we're hitting like 200-300k here and there. And if that's getting multiplied by the second, then we have pretty high damage potential with that one little malignant heart right there. Really came in wanting to get some red ones, but I guess this is what we got. Still haven't got a malignant invoker or a wrathful invoker. I don't know what kind of magic I need to do to make that happen, but 500k that guy exploded for and killed his overpowered health minion. That is a little bit weird. This is probably going to cause me to die, but I'm definitely going to take that to the nightmare dungeons and see how it fares. I might just end up replacing it. Thanks for investing your time in this video for this slightly off meta, definitely off meta, because if you go on the D4 Armory, you'll see that maybe a handful of people are running bash and trying to do this because it's just so slow in the beginning, but I got 45%, 46% attack speed on here. I got the pretty much guaranteed crit with the core skills, which activates the core skill aspect we have right there. I had a perfect roll on another bludgeon, but that bludgeon was like 660. I don't know. It was below the 725 breakpoint. So I had to replace it. And then my damage instantly went up when I replaced it. So if we have this at 60 and we have this at 25, then we're going to be seeing 65% attack speed when we pick that up. But also we got 12 right there, so we're almost at double attack speed. So our 0.9 is realistically right now is 1.4. Like this is already the base attack speed of wand and offhand with no modifiers, which is fairly decent. You don't have to have attack speed with wand and focus for it to attack fast as shit. So this is pretty good. I read Hammer of the Ancients. The base, let me look at the base real quick. Where is it? I have a side one of that at like 40%, just in case I have to switch. And you know, I haven't figured out which place. Like I could put this on one of the two-handers and have 200% weapon mastery damage, and you saw the Deathblow is hitting like, I mean, here and there as low as 60k. But on the high end, like 250k, 300k. And that's only with 92%. Anyways, we were looking for Hammer of the Ancients. So this is 32 to 50. Allegedly, it's getting buffed to like 40 to 75. I didn't look into the pre-patch discussion campfire shit they were talking about, but this is supposed to be getting buffed. But it should be noted that no, that should be buffs coming. Like Sork is getting the treatment right now, and 1.1.1a, and then there'll be a 1.1 or triple 1b, and Barb should be getting some more special attention in that. Overall, everyone's getting buffs when that patch comes out. Next patch notes drop Tuesday, Wednesday, so we could maybe expect to see it by Friday, hopefully. High Mage out.